It's week 6 of the National Football League, where London will play host to a different kind of football. It's the Jags and the Bears, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL International Series brings us across the pond. We're in North London and the impressive Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So good to Mike Tirico, Greg Olson up here in the booth. You know, partner, sometimes teams get off to slow starts, and that's the case for these teams we're going to see here. Both under 500, not critical yet, but you can't wait too long to try to get this thing around.
And I know it sounds crazy, Mike, but here we are, and it's only October. There's a long way to go. But this feels like a really important game, and I think that was the sense that both coaches told us all week when we had a chance to meet with them. They said,
big crowd on hand. They love American football. These games grow everywhere. The English crowd is ready, and off we go from Wembley. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Bears come out with their quarterback, Caleb Williams. All hoping they answer that long search for a franchise quarterback for the Bears. He won the Heisman. He's the #1 overall pick in this past year's draft.
and he's coming off a game where he's pretty much held in check for the majority of the contest. He had a couple nice throws here and there, and I think that's what gives this team hope that he is the quarterback for the future, Mike, because when he's on, it looks like big boy football. The problem, just don't see it enough. He didn't get into any sort of established rhythm, never found the end zone, and of course he had the one interception. I think today, get him off to a good start, get an idea of what the defense is looking to do to counter you, and find easy layups, this quarterback going. I think last week they weren't able to do it, and if they don't find early success today, I have a feeling the result might not be all that different. I love this call, Mike. Second down and short, one of the best downs in football to take a shot. They were ready for it, but a nice job by the quarterback, realizing there's nothing downfield, take off, turn into a runner, pick up the first down.
A gain there of 11. Good for a Bears first down. They're trying the left Swift. And he's not going to get away. They're going to bring him down on the other side of midfield.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
And he's going to be swallowed up again. Back-to-back runs, back-to-back losses. Now it is third down. On third down, the pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Now a fair catch, and it's going to be a long field. They'll take over right about their own 13. Jacksonville comes out with the former #1 overall pick. Trevor Lawrence, their quarterback, 6'6", tall and talented. Greg, hard to believe, already is season 4 for Lawrence after his days at Clemson.
Coming off a loss last time out, I think the #1 goal today, Mike, is he needs to make a bigger impact on the outcome of today's game. Last week, he was not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it was really just a modest performance. He was okay. Well, okay at the quarterback position is not a winning formula week in and week out in the NFL. They need him to be a difference maker. They need him to be a dynamic playmaker. He's capable of all those things, and if we can get that level of play out of him today, I think they can expect a different result than last week.
And it doesn't appear that he got to that first down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up third down. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. He's got his man. It's complete to Thomas.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch. Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
There's a 3rd down and 4. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, he's got a man. That's caught by Brown. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
On 1st down, Lawrence. This to the right side, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on 1st down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the 1st down here? Or is the idea to just make 3rd down manageable and take your chances picking up a key 3rd down?
Lawrence. Now a screen set up for ETN. Good-looking screenplay there, a gain of 11 and a 1st down.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
2nd down, Lawrence. Catch made right side by Thomas. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. Here's a 3rd down and 4. Now Lawrence. He'll try to hit him with a screen. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a 1st down.
The most impressive thing about this drive, Mike, has really just been their efficiency. They've just continued to pick up 1st downs, fresh sets of downs. We just saw there with that 3rd down conversion, continue to possess the ball. These opportunities to come away with points continue to go up.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. To throw is Lawrence. Got his receiver on the in-cut. He's got it. And the Jaguars are looking at a 1st and goal as he's taken down at the 2-yard line.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's 1st and goal.
To throw is Lawrence. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Brian Thomas, the intended receiver. And it'll lead to a 2nd and goal. They'll look to run. It's ETN. And he won't quite get in. Down to the 1, setting up 3rd and goal. A tight end in motion now. They'll run with Bigsby. And that big offensive line. Clearing space. He's in. Tank Bigsby. Touchdown, Jaguars. That his 1st touchdown this year. So on 3rd and goal, they run it in. Sometimes, Greg, that's 4-down territory. They didn't need to do it on 4th down. Taking care of it on the 3rd down for the touchdown.
Yeah, and when you find yourself down here this close, Mike, you have to finish these drives off. I'm with you. I think he was going to give his back 2 shots there to punch it in, but he only needed 1.
We are set for football in the NFL International Series. Great to be back in England, and off we go from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The Bears offense going to take over now for the second time. They were forced to punt the first time through. It led to a touchdown, so down 7-0 as they get the ball back for 1st and 10. They'll get 11 there, and that's a quick first down. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams.
He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
On 2nd down, it's Williams. He'll find the first rounder out of Washington, Rome Odunze.
You can see the eyes of the quarterback. He's trying to push this ball initially downfield, but with the defense doing a good job keeping a lid on the coverage, he's up to the shallow route. But this is something that they know in the future. If I need a couple yards, they can come back to this play.
A pickup there of 13. 1st down, Chicago.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
And he's fighting to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not do it. This is going to be a loss of a yard. Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. On the bootleg, it's Williams. Working across the field, he's going to find more. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they take it to the 20-yard line with that one. It's been a busy first quarter for him so far. His 3rd catch goes for a 1st down. They'll go play action here with Williams. And this throw batted away and incomplete.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
And he'll get this ahead, gain of about 4, and it leads to 3rd down. So they'll talk over what to do on this 3rd down play as we have hit the end of the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. More from the International Series in London after this. Here comes 3rd and 6. A play fake. Now Williams. He'll try and get there on the ground.
Those plays are killers for a defense. You think you have the quarterback hemmed in. You think you have a chance for your pass rush to get you off the field. Instead, he gets away, picks up some tough yards, and sets his team up 1st and goal.
There he goes again.
It's a nice job here defensively. Down here tight, it's easy to be so concerned about stopping the pass that you lose sight of the quarterback when he decides to become a runner. Not the case here. Picks up a little positive yardage, sets up 2nd and goal.
To the end zone there, but it is incomplete. He was looking to get it to DJ Moore. And now they'll be looking at 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. It is brought in the end zone. DJ Moore. Touchdown, Bears.
But you think back to their first possession of this game, Mike, it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So That's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their second possession.
Big crowd on hand. They love American football. These games grow every year. The English crowd is ready, and off we go from Wembley. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Jags offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. The next drive about to start as we take a look ahead to what's coming up the next couple of nights. Starting tonight, Sunday Night Football, it's the Bengals and Giants at MetLife Stadium, 8:20 Eastern Time. Followed tomorrow by Monday Night Football. Quick turnaround for the stadium crew. The Bills and the Jets also at MetLife. Kickoff there, 8:15 from Jersey. They'll run it once more with ETN. He'll manage only about 3, so it will bring up third down. In motion comes Thomas. Lawrence from the gun here on third down. That's caught over the middle by Thomas. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a first down. Lawrence gives this one to ETN. And a nice run there. He'll be stopped just shy of a first down. A pickup of 9. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's second and inches. They go play action for Lawrence. Now a deep ball looking for Brown.
So the defense comes out in a cover 2 shell. And what that means, Mike, is the 2 safeties are going to split the field in half. One guy has one half, and the other guy has the other. There are abilities to get down the middle of the field, especially if you have speed. But really where you can attack it is they don't have enough guys to defend all of the underneath zones. And if you run the right concepts with the right, you can pick them apart.
Now Lawrence on the bootleg. That's taken in by Thomas. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
Nice play here by Thomas, and I think the biggest thing that he does, Mike, is his ability to get vertical, track the ball, and then go up and compete at the highest point. And I can tell you, when quarterbacks can throw that ball anywhere on the field and just feel like their guy is going to come down with it, they don't have to be necessarily as accurate. They don't have to necessarily always be perfect. The wide receiver allows a much larger margin for error, and it's a big reason why he led college football last year in touchdowns.
And he's going to be brought down just outside the 10-yard line.
ETN is able to move the chains, and when you look at what he can do both in the run game and the passing game, you can see why the Jaguars invested a first-round pick in him just a few years ago. Over 1,000 rushing yards each of the last 2 seasons, but it's really the total scrimmage yards that really makes him stand out.
Now ETN, and he'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. That's on the tackle, Anton Harrison. On the ground, here's ETN. And he will score. Travis Etienne. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
When you start talking about the qualities of a top-tier back in the NFL, Mike, we all talk about size, speed, the ability to have balance at contact. But the part we don't talk enough about is patience, understanding the blocking scheme, the timing, when to hit the hole, as much as what hole to hit. And I think you get a great example of what that looks like when it all comes together. He takes advantage of the scheme, and next thing you know, he hits his head on the goalpost.
We are set for football in the NFL International Series. Great to be back in England. And off we go from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. From the shotgun, it's Williams. And he's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down.
He might have a new name on the back of his uniform. Remember, Mike, back in July, he went from Allen to wanting to be referred to by Hines Allen. But with all that being said, he is still the same dynamic pass rusher he has always been, and he is a handful for any offensive line, and this time, he gets in there for a sack.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Here's Swift, and that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard, but that's it. 3rd and long. Williams. Duvernay with the grab. And he'll get a good chunk of that yardage back, but he's still well short of the 1st down.
Even though they gave up that last completion, Mike, that's a really good drive there for this defense. I mean, from the beginning, on those early downs, keeping them from staying ahead of the chains, put them in a tough 3rd down situation, and now it brings up 4th down, and looks like they're going to get off the field.
Travis Etienne and the Jaguar offense ready to get back to work. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. The drive begins with a carry from Etienne. Trying to find somewhere to move forward, but nothing going. Tackled for the loss of a yard. Once again, it's Etienne. And he'll get about 5 past the 30-yard line. 3rd and 6. Lawrence now. Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. And he will have the 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
The best time to call a screen is when the defense is anticipating pass. Allow that defensive front to rush the passer. Just get through the offensive line enough before you drop it to your back. Get out behind those big offensive linemen and pick up the 1st down.
In motion comes Thomas. On 1st and 10, Lawrence.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
Now 2nd down throw for Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, but that is incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far. The most important stat, Mike, to determine wins and losses in the NFL is clearly turnover differential, your ability to protect the ball and on defense, take the ball away. And for any offense, that's even more critical when you have the ball on your side of the field.
And that's a nice job of making things more manageable for this offense as he takes it back beyond the 25-yard line. So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a 1st down. What more could you ask for on 1st down? Nice run of 8, setting up 2nd and short. Off play action. Here's Williams. He'll let one go down the middle.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throw away.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
Here's Torrey Taylor now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Jaguars offense and Travis Etienne set to get back to work. They'll start out first down and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He runs with it. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. Give him 11 on the scramble and give them a new set of downs. On first down, Lawrence. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. Here's Lawrence to throw. That's thrown right side, but incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category, but the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with a lead.
He gets free. Down to the 10. And he will score. De'Ami Brown. Touchdown, Jaguars. Third down. My focus, Greg, was on picking up the first down. Forget that. They go down the field and in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, and I don't think it was just your focus, Mike. I think in this case, it was the defense's focus. They're so worried about where that first down marker was that they allowed them to get that ball up and over the top for the deep strike touchdown.
Extra point by Little is good. And the Jaguars will take a 21-7 lead. Big crowd on hand. They love American football. These games grow every year. The English crowd is ready, and off we go from Wembley. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The Bears offense ready to get back to work. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with first and 10. That's into the hands of Moore. And good yardage there after the catch. They'll wind up with a gain of 7 on first down. Throwing on second down, Williams. Here's a screen taken in by Swift. And he's going to have the first down as he gets out of bounds, and he stopped the clock as well. Throwing is Williams. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
Williams to throw on second down. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. Third and long. On the give, here's Swift. And he'll get this forward to about the 33. Now the Jags will use their third and final timeout. They get the stoppage with just over 50 seconds to play in this first half. Fair catch made here. The drive will start at the 23-yard line. The Jaguars offense going to take over here in the final minute of this first half. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off first and 10. He throws right side down the field, and it is brought in. And he's going to take this one all the way. 76 yards. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Well, that is a quick drive and the best way to finish it. The touchdown pass downfield. Greg, you rarely see a deep shot like that to start a drive.
You're right, Mike. We don't see it a lot, but I wish we did. It's actually the most efficient and safest down to pass the ball. And in this case, the defense is thinking run, got a lot of defenders up in the box, and they're able to strike deep with a pass play for 6.
We are set for football in the NFL International Series. Great to be back in England, and off we go from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. First and 10. Here's Williams now to throw. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
One of the top performers in that first half was the running back, Travis Etienne. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
American football. These games grow every year. The English crowd is ready, and off we go from Wembley. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. There's Trevor Lawrence as he and the Jaguars get set for their next drive. And he has been in control of this offense. Want to run you through some of the action from earlier on. You've got the 2 touchdown passes, over 200 passing yards. He has been excellent all game long. They motion the slot man left. They fake the jet sweep and will hand it up the middle. And he'll get back maybe to the line of scrimmage, but probably going to be a loss of a yard here. 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. He finds his tight end. That's Brenton Strange. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. Lawrence. He's got his man on the in route. Yes, taken in over the middle.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
That is fielded at the 20. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The Bears offense ready to come back out for this next possession. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast, and right now they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
On the bootleg, it's Williams. And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
So after surrendering their 6th sack of the game, I looked down on the sideline, Mike, and found their offensive line coach. He grabbed his headset, removed it, and he slammed it on the ground. And truthfully, I don't blame him. His unit has been getting worked up front all day in pass protection.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. To throw is Williams. They'll try to set up the screen here to Swift.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a 4th down decision to make.
A fair catch signaled, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. The Jaguars offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. As we look back at some of the highlights of this one, you'll see a lot of them, Greg, coming from the passing game. They've done a nice job picking the defense apart.
Yeah, and I think that's the right way to say it. It hasn't necessarily been just a bunch of deep shots, a bunch of explosives. It's been more methodical. It's been precise. They've really been all over their execution, and this is about as close to a complete performance as you're going to see from any offense throughout the course of this season.
And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. This run straight ahead for ETN. And he's going to get the first down. He is up past the 35-yard line. In motion comes Thomas. A first down throw for Lawrence. He will find Thomas. And he's taken down, but just shy of midfield.
Now, this is the epitome of a really short throw and a really nice run after catch. And listen, for a quarterback, it all counts the same. You don't always have to throw the ball downfield to generate explosive plays, and these drag routes can be very, very effective.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Pretty much just more of the same from what we saw with this back in the first half, and he doesn't need much. He gets a little bit and can create the rest. It's the combination of patience, vision, and then the burst to hit the hole once he sees it. This guy's been a handful all day. Nice job by the defense. They had that one well read from the beginning, Mike. Someone's responsible for the running back, but the key here was the defender responsible for the quarterback. Stays with him, keeps him to a short game.
And they will take him down at the 20-yard line.
It's too early at this point, Mike, to really start thinking about the clock. You definitely don't want to go into a shell. But now this is the point in the game where having a good ground game really starts to take over. You throw to get the lead, but man, once you get it...
Oh, in trouble. Down he goes.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack, and we're going to see which team can establish a little bit more of this control as the game unfolds.
The carry here for ETN. Look at him move away from a tackler as he winds up gaining 7 yards. Nice run there. Trying to keep a drive alive, going to have to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Lawrence. This is caught at the 2. And he'll take it on in. De'Ami Brown. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. Greg, nothing changed at halftime. They come right out to start this third quarter and pick up where they left off.
Well, I think this defensive coordinator is going to think back to his halftime speech, Mike, because whatever adjustments he thought they made, it obviously didn't resonate. What we saw happen in the first half, they picked right back up here to start the third quarter, and at this point, the offense has hit its stride, and they continue to pull away.
We are set for football in the NFL International Series. Great to be back in England, and off we go from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
This has been a masterful game plan defensively. I mean, not only have they found their mismatches and been able to exploit them, it's led to 7 sacks so far. I mean, even when the offense seems to make an adjustment, Mike, the defense just still seems to be one step ahead of them.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. On 3rd down, it's Williams from the gun. That one on target to Moore. And they are not going to catch up to him. He will score. 80 yards. Touchdown, Chicago. Santos for the extra point. He knocks it through, and the Bears are able to cut into the deficit. Big crowd on hand. They love American football. These games grow every year. The English crowd is ready. And off we go from Wembley. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. The offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he's had it going in the first half. Really had his way with the secondary. They have been powerless to stop him. Now, they're trying to keep it going. They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up 2nd down. Lawrence will give it to Bigsby. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up 3rd down. They go play action for Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
How often do we see teams kind of nurse these big leads, Mike, especially as the game unfolds? They turn to the ground game. They try to slow everything down. Well, not this offense. They refuse to take their foot off the gas. They're still mining for explosive plays. And frankly, with the way today's gone, I don't blame them.
And not much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. Set to go now on 1st and 10. A play fake, and they'll throw with Williams. Off-balance throw, it's complete. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. They'll run out of the gun. It is Swift. He's going to have a Bears 1st down as the tackle's made just shy of the 30.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a 1st down.
He's going to look for the home run ball. And they're going to have this all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield, perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. A play fake. Now Williams. And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
To play in the NFL, you got to have a short-term memory because regardless of whether the previous play was good or bad, they're going to line up and snap it again. And in this case, really nice job bouncing back. They put the bad play behind them, forced the sack in the ensuing play, and they're right back on track.
A tough spot here. 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Williams. Taking off, he'll try to get there. A great job of knowing when to go. He gets 17 yards on that run and a 1st down. So, both teams trade touchdowns in that frame as we get through the end of the 3rd quarter. Back with more of the NFL International Series after this. On the move at the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Williams. This one taken in by Odunze. And he'll get about 8 on that one, most of it coming after the catch. It's 2nd down. Now, off the bootleg, he'll look to throw here. Taking, and he will get into the end zone. Caleb Williams. Touchdown, Chicago. Well, Greg, the light's still on way down at the end of the tunnel here. They are climbing back into this one with that touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And they have a tall task ahead of them, Mike, but they have a chance. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen. They got a 2-possession game here late. They're going to need a couple stops, and they're going to need a couple things to bounce their way.
Santos, good on the extra point. And the Bears back within a couple of scores. It's 35-21. We are set for football in the NFL International Series. Great to be back in England. And off we go from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. This offense and their running back heading back on the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. They'll give it to ETN to start this drive. And that'll be a short game up to the 27-yard line. 2nd down and 8. They'll run. It's ETN. And he'll bring this across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 4. And in motion is Brown. Lawrence from the gun here on 3rd down. 6 catches for him in the ball game now. And this one's good for a 1st down.
That might end up being the backbreaker right now. This defense desperately needed to get off the field and give their offense a chance to cut into this 2-score lead. But instead, they now got to defend a fresh set of downs. And as you look up at this clock, they might be running out of time.
That's out to Brown, right side, complete. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
An interesting decision there by the play caller to put this ball in the air. Mike, you're up by 2 scores. Traditional wisdom says, hey, we're up by 2 scores late in the 4th quarter. We've got to keep this clock moving. You don't want to risk an incompletion. Now, they convert. They're able to secure the catch and pick up a fresh set of downs. That's going to enable them to continue to burn more clock. And without a stop, their opponent's not going to get the ball back.
They'll give it to ETN on the option. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to 3rd down. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. So it is 4th down, and that'll bring on Cam Little for this Jaguars field goal. Little's kick is good. And the Jaguars will add to their lead here in the 4th quarter.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Bears offense headed back to take over once more. The deficit is 17, so they got to start cutting into it soon. See if it starts here. 1st and 10. On 2nd down, it's Williams. Throw right side, caught by Odunze. A gain of 11 on that one. Good for a Bears 1st down. Throwing is Williams. Here's a screen taken in by Swift. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
2nd and 7. They'll try to throw again. Here's Williams. And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short. They'll look to pick this up 3rd and a yard. Throwing again, Williams. He's got the hook up there to Odunze. And he will have the 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
When you decide to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, typically, Mike, what you're doing is you start from the top down. If you have the big shot downfield, take it. If not, the quarterback works through his progression, finds the medium target, picks up a 1st down.
To throw it again, it's Williams. He's going to tuck it and go. Good job breaking the pocket and going for 14 yards. And most importantly, a 1st down.
We've seen this quarterback have some effective plays with his legs all game today, Mike. He knows when to stay in there and look to pass, but he also knows when it's time to tuck it and go, and he's able to pick up good yardage there.
They will run it over center with Swift. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Williams. That's into the hands of Zacchaeus. And this drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up 1st and goal for his team. They'll run with Swift, and he'll plunge forward to the 2, setting up 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Johnson. Trying to push the pile forward. He didn't even get to the 1-yard line. They stop him short. No gain. That is caught by the tight end. Cole Kmet. Touchdown, Bears. Greg, it's the quarterback's best friend, and you were that guy for a lot of years. The tight end in a tight area with man coverage.
Yeah, and it's really twofold, Mike, right? First and foremost, we see so many of these tight ends around the league that now have gotten to the point where one-on-one matchups, that's advantage offense. But then even in the cases they don't create great separation, Mike, it's their size, their catch radius. It's such a friendly target for the quarterback that when things get tight in the red zone, they look to the tight end.
Even with 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, they're going to try an onside kick. The kickoff unit is out there, and they'll send this one away. And And the defense has it. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. And that'll be batted down and incomplete. The big tight end, Cole Kmet, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up second down. Here's Williams now to throw. That is caught! And he will score! Game on! Cole Kmet, touchdown Chicago. That is second touchdown of the afternoon. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
The kick is good. Important extra point. The difference is just 3, a field goal here in the fourth quarter. On the return, it's Parker Washington. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. So now, out comes the offense, led by their quarterback as they take over once again. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read, seemingly every time.
At this stage in the fourth quarter, great job by the defense understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to bleed the clock, shorten the game. They completely sold out to stop the run, able to take them down for a loss.
They'll stay on the ground and stay with Bigsby. And he's going to be swallowed up again. Back-to-back runs, back-to-back losses. Now it's third down.
You know, at this point, the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air on third down? Or do they play it safe and keep running the clock by keeping the ball on the ground?
Third down, they go with Bigsby. That is not going to work at all. He'll manage to only get back to the line of scrimmage. Very short of the first down. Fourth down coming up. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. They'll come up for first and 10. They'll drop to throw. Pass right side to the tight end, Kmet. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line.
All right, this is a good start. Plays like these are definitely going to help as you work your way into scoring range. While you have to be wary of the clock and keep an eye on it, they should have plenty of time here to finish this drive.
And the rush gets there. Down he goes. Here comes second down. Here's Williams. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
The game is there for the taking. They control their own destiny, but this brings up a really big third down here. But remember, they don't have to force it and push the ball past the sticks. Even if they come up short, they still have fourth down in their back pocket to try to extend this drive and see if they can pull out the win here late.
And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs. This offense ready for their next possession, led by their running back. They'll have a short field, looking to build on the lead. They'll come up here, first and 10. The tight end motioning left here. From the pistol, here's Bigsby. That's a second charge timeout to Chicago. And they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in this one. Last play went the wrong way. It sets up second and long. It's second down and 12. Slot man in motion right. They fake the jet sweep and give it up the middle. And they'll stop it. At least it's an improvement over the last play. They're not losing yardage, but it didn't gain any here. And now it's going to be third down. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So it's a win here for the Jaguars. They take the first of two here in London. They'll be back right here on English soil next Sunday to take on the Patriots over at Wembley Stadium. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long from London.